This will be a crafting tutorial on how to craft endgame gear, so that means tier 4 gear, which is only meant for a frame with all the stats maxed out. If you have a lower frame, use another guide or ask someone else. So once you're maxed out, you cannot make all your abilities and all your items purple because it will go over the max constraint. You can only use a certain amount of mass and power. So to counteract that, so you don't make items which cost too much, you can, before you craft the item, check how much it's gonna cost. This will take you a little bit of time, like 5 minutes, but on the other hand, if you do it, you will end up not using a lot of purples and expensive items or expensive resources, which costs a lot or takes a lot of time to farm. So in the end, by doing this, you won't waste items or resources, which means you save time in the long run. So the first thing you do is, for each of the components for the item, I recommend doing it once for every component. Open it up, put in some green stuff. The green stuff isn't worth a lot on the market, and if you're on your maxed frame, you probably have a lot of them just lying around. So start by making that. After you're done calculating, you can also sell the component, so you won't lose a lot of crystite. Say you lose 1 or 2,000 crystite per item, and it's worth it. So we made a component. Something I forgot to mention is, once you put in the parts here, you'll see here if it uses mass or power. So the component is done, we know it uses power, and this item will end up on 148.8 power. So what you do now to calculate how much the component you want to make will cost you in power, you type in that value, 148.8, into the calculator. Now you will subtract the base cost of the item, always the base. In this case it's 60 power, so I'll subtract that from the 148.8, which makes it 88.8 in value. Like I said, this will take some time, but it's worth it in the long run, so learn to do it and you'll understand why it's good to do it. So the 88.8 value, you will divide that by the quality of the component you made. So I'll divide it by 592, and then you multiply it by 1000, which gives me a value of 150. So now I know if I make one of these components on max quality, on 1000 quality, it's gonna use up 150 power plus the base cost. So 150 power is what this will cost me. And how much will I get for those 150 powers that I spent? Is it worth making that component as high quality as you can, or do you want to tank it and make it white because it's not really worth it? Then you do the same thing, but you check for the this is the damage component, so this is the modified value with the component in, so we type that into the calculator, and then we're going to do the exact same thing. So 664, subtract the base damage of 583, leaving 181. Again, divide it by the quality, 592, multiply it by 1000, giving a value of 306. So a quality 1000 component will cost 150 power, and it's gonna give me 306 extra damage. So if you then you can determine, is it worth getting or not. If you determine that, yeah, okay, it's good, and I want to see how much the component I'm gonna make is gonna cost me, so then I'll type in or put in some higher quality, because I think that's good. So I'll put in some higher quality components or resources. Let's take those, leaving a quality of 829. So how much power and how much will I get for this? We said quality 1000 costs 150 power, so type in 150 into the calculator, divide it by 1000, and then multiply it by the new quality of the item you're thinking about making. So divide 150 divided by 1000 and multiply it by 829, giving a value of 124. So this new component will cost 124 power. And you can do the same thing with the damage component. So you can see you type in the 306 damage, divide it by 1000, multiply it by 829, and you'll see how much damage you're going to get for that, for the extra 124 power. So I'll manufacture this just so we can see if the power or if the math adds up. So this will add 124.35 power, and then I'll add in the base cost of 60, giving a total value of 184.35 power. $184.35 power. By doing this for all the slots, you'll always know before you make the components, before you craft the item, you'll always know how much mass and power it's going to cost, and you'll find that out without spending a lot of crystite. So by doing this, in the long run, you'll save crystite, which means you'll save time.